Good morning, welcome to Catex TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Monday, October 27th, 2014. If you want to follow us on Twitter, go to Catex TV. The European Central Bank said that only 13 Eurozone banks have failed the enhanced stress test. This is out of 130 big Eurozone banks that had been subjected to the entire review. This was far less than had been predicted. It has now expected that this is going to cause a bit of an uptick in the stock markets because it's viewed as a possible economic turning point. Meanwhile, in the Ebola crisis in the United States now, the governors of New York and New Jersey are sticking to their plans to quarantine all healthcare workers returning from countries with Ebola epidemics. And this is despite pressure from the White House that is saying that that sort of a strict policy could in fact impede the flow of healthcare workers to West Africa. The governor of New York has struck a bit more conciliatory tone when Andrew Cuomo said yesterday that the quarantine of those returning workers could in fact remain at home. Healthcare workers and travelers exposed to people with Ebola and who live in New York can stay in their homes for the 21-day quarantine, checked upon twice daily by healthcare professionals. In New Jersey, they must remain in quarantine in an isolation unit of a hospital. The Bermuda-based losses from Hurricane Gonzalo are going to be much less than feared. This is according to an insurance firm executive in Bermuda, John White, president and CEO of BF&M, the largest property insurer on the island, said damage costs are likely to be between $50 and $100 million. Not the $200 to $400 million suggested by the cat modeling firm AIR. Mr. White said that modelers from experience typically model losses in excess of what the losses actually end up being. Speaking of Gonzalo, this is the storm that won't go away, it seems. It combined with a moisture-laden cyclone and has struck Bulgaria and Greece and other parts of the Balkan Peninsula over the weekend. Brought significant flooding to portions of Greece, including the low-lying capital of Athens. Heavy rain and snow brought travel nightmares to Bulgaria. The northern suburbs of Africa picked up 2.5 inches of rain in just several hours, leading to intense flooding. Basements and underpasses were flooded, cars were swept away, parked cars were moved. There have been no records of anybody being killed yet. However, it has caused quite a snafu in travel conditions, and more rain is still coming. Strong winds have closed the ports of Varna and Burgas at times over the weekend in Bulgaria, and it's not quite over yet. They're on the watch for more rain today. Meanwhile, volcano Kilauea in the Big Island of Hawaii, which has been erupting continuously since 1983, spewing lava out, has caused some evacuation concerns in Hawaii. There's a lava flow of 2,000-degree molten rock moving at about 45 to 60 feet an hour toward the town of Pahoa. The lava has usually flowed south and poured into the ocean, but in the past 2 years the lava has now begun to take a different route and is flowing northeast toward the town of Pahoa. The current flow has been threatening residents since June. It's now getting close enough that emergency workers are going door to door to inform residents of the possible evacuation. There's a flow of 2,000-degree molten lava coming to their homes at 60 feet an hour, and they're going door to door to tell them. An earthquake measuring 5.3 on the Richter scale occurred in northern Sumatra of Indonesia earlier today, and the tremors were felt in Phuket in Thailand. Residents living there experienced the tremors. There have been no reports of any damage or injuries. Phuket, of course, was very hard hit by the great earthquake and tsunami several years ago. Goldman Sachs has slashed its 2015 oil price forecast. Goldman said late last night that they expect the benchmark U.S. West Texas Intermediate to fall to $75 a barrel. It could fall down to $70 a barrel in the second quarter of 2015, when oversupply could be its most pronounced. Gasoline per gallon in the United States now is about $2.79 a gallon. The twin ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach are facing their biggest crisis in a decade as container ships idle offshore because cargo can't be moved off the docks fast enough. The bottleneck is blamed on a surge of imports, a shortage of truck trailers, and bigger ships hauling more cargo. This has caused a critical 7 to 10 day delay for retailers who are anxious to stock their shelves for the upcoming holiday season. The executive director of the Port of LA said this is really a perfect storm. Retailers are rerouting goods to other ports, and some shoe and clothing companies have begun transporting products by air. The delays are increasing. They're not getting better. This is what Soroka said, who is the executive director of the port. The problem is blamed on a variety of factors: a 10% increase in imports, a shortage of truck trailers and truck drivers has left cargo stuck on the docks, and terminals were built when the ships were a third of the size of the current behemoth size that they are now. Quite a problem. I'm sure it's not relegated only to those two ports. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.